Welcome to Sustainability Now, solutions to shape a world that works. Designed for everyone interested in responsible stewardship of the planet, covering food, energy, housing, water, waste, health, economics, and consciousness. Welcome to your community, Sustainability Now, with your host, Mira Rubin.
Welcome, everybody, to Sustainability Now, technologies and paradigms to shape a world that works. I'm your host, Mira Rubin, and it's my pleasure to introduce Nedo Bellucci. Nedo is the CEO and partner at Phenom Biotech, an industry leader in developing technologies that transform the food and agriculture sectors. Under Nedo's leadership, Phenom Biotech has refined its energy potential technology, EPT, providing a groundbreaking alternative to chemical-based solutions, increasing productivity, quality, and profitability without additional costs. His mission extends beyond food production into organic waste management, addressing critical sustainability challenges. Nedo is passionate about creating a future where science and nature collaborate to deliver practical, eco-friendly solutions to global challenges in food safety and waste management. Nedo, it's so good to have you here with us. Welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure and honor.
So you have technology that is really quite extraordinary, involving citric acid. And I know that's a deep oversimplification, but I hope you'll elaborate on that. But the result of using this in agriculture is that there's a tremendous increase in growth and productivity and health of plants and also of livestock and the health of the soil. So I'm just really curious about what is this technology? Where did it come from? How did it get discovered? And how is it being utilized?
I'm very happy to give you a much more broader introduction. So it is a very fascinating story. The founder of the company, Dr. Pierluigi, which is now a scientist that's 82 years old, he stood up about 4 years ago, and there's actually things on the web where he went against the chemical company and against the system, denounced that the way they were going will destroy the planet, and it's going to be slowly deteriorated, but very hard then to reverse back. So he had a sort of into a big conference. He had a sort of argument, and unfortunately, the consequence of this argument for me is that he lost the job at university. He lost his money research, and he basically had no way to be in Europe anymore. So he fled to Brazil and started from scratch with the mission of finding natural ways of tackle the food industry, and in particular agriculture and animal husbandry, without using chemicals that are effective, that are not destroying like chemicals, and they're not more expensive than chemicals. It took about 30 years to develop technology, figure out testing. I have to say, the government of Brazil supporting him in financing, research, so he had the capability to be supported from private entity. And after 30 years developing, and now we are in the 10 years of deploying our products into the field, we are receiving incredible result. So one of the elements that we are capable to enhance through the EPT, energy potential technology, which is our technology that is based on electromagnetism. We are capable to extract
From what?
electromagnetism.
Okay, electromagnetism.
Exactly. So through this system, we are capable to extract in a very powerful way enzyme or nutritions or any active principle of natural elements. and emphasize them in a way that become very effective. One of them is citric acid, which basically we apply in different industry, but it's a part of one of main element that we use, or many element that natural element that we use for tackle the industry of agriculture and animal husbandry. It's not only based on one product, but definitely is our major effective products that we see in plants and animals, and as well composting, is basically boosting the immune system, is helping digestive system or assimilation. If we talk about animals, we talk about digestive system. If we talk about plants, we talk about assimilation, and therefore create, for example, for plants, a protectiveness from attacking from fungi, from bacteria, and for insects and so forth. In animals, it boosts immune system, and within a very few, say, days or weeks, it start to become basically regenerate the digestive system, change the skin of the animals, getting more basically less attracted by fly, for example, cows. It changed completely the skin, the skin smell. So there's less flies attacking or flying around the cows. That means stress for the cows. There is a product that is sold by Bayer called Cropton, something like that. I forgot. It's a ring that they put on the cows. I'm sure you've seen it. This basically, it's an anti-parasite and anti-pesticide. So you can imagine this ring are basically into the skin of the animals, next to the skin. Those chemicals are absorbed by the animals, which we eat at the end. But let's forget about the end of the chain, which is a human consumption. Still, the animals. Imagine you have a chemicals ring on your ear. It's natural. They're suffering. They're struggling with the digestive system, with the immune system. So there is a fight into it. Once we eliminate those type of chemical injections, which are usually what cause to nature a reactivity that no used to, because we're not used to get chemicals injection, right? So there is obviously a fighting for the immune system. Once we remove those bottles, internal bottles, and we keep the natural energy, everything boosts. Obviously, citric acid is not the only element that we use for, but it's definitely one of the main components in many of our products that allows us to generate this type of benefit. But we implemented protocols and other type of products that basically emphasize combining to the citric acid that we developed through our technology, basically to really create this type of incredible results. We're capable to do 3 times the productivity, three times more the productivity and the quality of the products, and no cost. I mean,
let me ask you a question. How do you apply these I'm going to say nutrition to the animals? Is it something that you feed them?
The first thing we do is analyzing the currently assumptions of nutritions from the farm, and then after analyze.
Say it again.
We analyze the current consumptions of nutritions between the feed, the corn, whatever they use it, and then based on that, we create a protocol. They substitute those products, mostly chemicals, if they are, with our product solution that are basically mixed with the feed. So animals doesn't change anything, doesn't have to do any particular extra protocol. It's very simple application that is basically put into the feed. And
is it liquid form or powder?
No, it's powder. This one is powder.
Okay, so you're talking about citric acid. We know about the benefits of vitamin C on the immune system. So it sounds like you're giving a nutritional supplement in a way to the food. Is that correct?
That's correct. I have to tell you a story. We know that it can be extremely beneficial to human too. But the route of humans, the way we start, so there is a specific formula I don't want to go too much into the technical scientific terms, but we are capable only to assimilate a specific amount of vitamin C.
Right.
The issue,
Otherwise you get diarrhea and whatnot.
the issue is that the potent, it's not about the quantity, it's about the potency of the vitamin C. So if we are able to absorb certain milligrams of vitamin C per day, it's about the effectiveness of vitamin C that is an issue. Nature gives us the opportunity, but it's not powerful enough. And that's what we could potentially be very beneficial for human consumption as well. But that's a different route. It takes much more longer. That's more, it's basically has to be that more specific study that it's not probably what we are aiming to go, at least for now. But there's a lot of talking with a lot of pharmaceutical companies that they want to use our citric acid to test and then figure out how much can affect it. One thing that I can tell you is that in sanitation, it's also incredible. We are receiving, we did several tests in different labs around the world. And anytime we did this test, we asking, can you check our sanitizer based on citric acid comparable to chlorine, to alcohol, to any other ways or forms of chemicals, no chemicals, sanitizer products, either for food as well as for surface. We got all the same answer. Are you sure you want to spend 10, 15,000, 20,000 to test in citric acid that is more effective than chemicals and chlorine? And I say, yes. He said, are you sure? Because it might be waste your money. I said, no, we're sure. And every time, this is like probably 4 times, 5 times, after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, we don't receive the test, we had to call them, the test lab, and ask for the test. And every time they say, we've been tested several times, and every time your products come so higher that we don't know if it's a mistake or it is true. So we need to do several tests. We're going to do 1 more time, 2 more time, 3 more time, and we got it's always the same results. So no, please don't worry. We know it's going to be higher.
It's really exciting to understand that your products also, we made a jump from agriculture to sanitization, but I think it's a really amazing thing that you're talking about, to be able to replace chlorine and to have it be more effective. And you said it lasts longer as well, the sanitary effects of it,
yeah,
sanitizing effects of it last longer.
Yeah, for food consumption, that's the same benefit for animal, for plants. So it's all about the same, under the same scheme result. It's basically also an antioxidant. So it basically makes the body, the animals, the plants, the food. Imagine the bags that we eat pre-washed, right? Those are basically potentially where that's the business we tackle. Can be washed with our products, and it basically not only remove chlorine from the environment, and therefore from the groundwater, which is contaminated chlorine, which should destroy the environment. In us, we have almost daily consumption of chlorine, but also extend the shelf life. So it's also a huge benefit for the industry.
So my understanding, in our previous conversation, you were talking about how the results of using your products are so dramatic that you encounter disbelief. That you're talking about, the labs didn't even believe their own results, but that farmers are have been pushing back or resistant to adopting it because they don't believe that the results could possibly be as dramatic as you claim.
Yes, it's true. And to reiterate this, my first time I heard this company, one of my close friends from like childhood, from my teenager time, he's basically one of the partner, and randomly, like really the universe put me in the situation where I had to I get curious about what they're doing. I saw this jar in this house and I asked, what is that? And he started to mention about, oh, we are this company, we got involved from Brazil, a dear friend of ours, a scientist, incredible. And we basically, the animals are growing faster, healthier, like they go they're ready to, to slaughter. That's what we business are, like weeks before the regular consumption of chemicals. Plants are boosting, nutrition are growing like 3 times more. And I was like, it's composting. We're able to speed the compost. and make a compost very high effective in terms of agricultural value, but also removing immediately the odor, so there's no gas emission. And my waste people talking and talking, I said, this sounds like a magic potion. That was my first approach. Exactly the same word. And he goes, Luca, he goes, this is exactly what we encounter in problem in the market, because people doesn't believe us. That we can, with natural products, we are no more costly, no more costly than chemicals, sometimes even less, and we capable to do this incredible product as a result. So we have very hard time to get in, and that's what my entrepreneurial business developing mind start to like flipping and say, oh, this is a great opportunity. I want to jump on it. And so that's what started. 2.5 years ago. That's how it started. I had the same exactly still barrier to enter the market. So we changed the communication strategy from before used to be we are natural, organic, emphasizing nature element, to basically says we are removing chemicals and guarantee you 3 times more effectiveness. That's it.
You guarantee 3
Yeah.
times?
Yeah.
That's really bold.
Yeah, and that's the only way we get in. And that's the only way. This is how we get in. And then when they test it, they say, "Wow, this is incredible. We have data enough on the ground on the labs that we do have increase of three times the effectiveness, nutrition value, growing faster, growing quantity, composting, same thing. We speed the compost 3 times. We
So
increase."
talk a little bit about compost, because so many of us believe that composting is a great solution, but the way that it's done actually is very polluting, because it makes all kinds of gases and it makes all kinds of heat, and there's challenges to it. So if you have a system that is removing the odors, that is removing the gas, or making the gas emission nominal, this is a big deal.
Yeah. This is our main immediately incredible result, that is it can be generated in a few hours. And that allows us to basically become very strong compost leader slowly, but hopefully escalating soon, because people doesn't believe us. So we say, give it that. We send the test and say, it's a liquid. So, for example, animals waste, especially pork, which is very contaminated. The liquid in about 2-3 hours remove immediately the smell.
Wow.
And in about 48 to 72 hours range, depending from several things, it becomes an incredible liquid fertilizer, like super powerful fertilizer. We aim to work with pigs farms and collect the waste, which is very toxic for the environment, and basically create a circular economy. That's one way of doing it. But on the solid composting, which is the one that in the field that's causing gases, it takes about 7 to 12 to 24 hours. It depends on the quantities, but that's it. The smell is over. But this is if we apply already into the field. Our strategy with government and with leaders into the composting is how to make this process at a base rather than, before get to the compost site, and therefore eliminate the gap of few hours where there is a smell, but only for a few hours, but there is a smell. And there is many things we developing so far. We even think about create a garbage bag that basically has a cellulose and patina of our products that basically into the garbage bag is already composted.
Wow.
Yeah. So that would be a game changer.
Home composting garbage.
Yeah. And so when it goes into the field with the bags that is composting as well, it's already in the process of composting, which is the smell is already over. So it's a different way of easily with technology can be done in the next just few months. So we are into the verge of creating something very, very unique with our technology.
I'm thinking of landfills and the horrible waste and smell and hazards and dangers of landfills, and also stagnant water. Are you doing water treatment with this?
Yes, we do that. It's actually the same that's why I introduced you I share with you the pig waste. The same thing. with the liquam, with the liquid waste, that become extremely powerful fertilizer for us in a few hours. But that's what really smell. That liquid is what really smell the most. If you notice, if you keep your garbage bag for a few days, there is always the liquid part. That's what really causes the mostly horrible smell. That for us become incredible opportunity to create a fertilizer. This is not what we are focusly. I mean, we help to architecture to design the composting center to tell them how, but they know what to do. They have specific rules and processes they have to follow in order to collect the waste and stuff. So that's what we integrated. We asked them to use our products, and basically with a very small amount of cost. And I can give you a brief introduction, brief numbers, also business and numbers opportunity, just to give an idea of the benefit that we can provide. By using our products, we have the benefit of removing the smell in a few hours. That means many benefits. Logistic benefit, meaning that now the compost center doesn't need to be miles and miles away from our center, urban center, which also means cost of gas, emissions of the trucks, back and forth, and time and cost for the employee, because it's 2 hours drive and 2 hours back, that's cost. Second benefit, that we reduce the composting time by 1/3. So usually on the landfill, it's about 60, 90, 120 days, depend for several factors. We tested, we can reduce about up to 30 days. We are capable to already make a compost available as a fertilizer. But what's the most fascinating part is that without using any specific treatment, just our products, the compost value, let's call agronomy value, they usually is about 20, 16, 20, 22%, jump to 40, 60%.
Why?
They become much more valuable in the market.
Why?
Because it has more nutrition. We are a bacteriostatic product. We are not a bacteriocida. We don't kill the bacteria. We stabilize them. That's why there is also the first options of the smell, gas emission, which also is the smell. So those bacteria, those nutrients are into the compost. We don't kill them. We keep them there. And by doing that, we increase the time, or we increase the agronomy value. And with the component that is inside, which is made of citric acid, argile, and some minerals and iron, that's how we produce. That's how our products made with our technology that extract in a very powerful way, the enzyme and the active principle. This small powder, we also do liquid. It depends on how it can be wanted to be used. It basically had this type of result. This was basically at the end. What does it mean? It means that compost can be sold in the market, and a value cost about $250, $200, $300 a ton. It depends from, you always fluctuate because the market flashes, right? Now think about this compost. Usually that is regularly produced, has no strong value in the market. Usually it's given for free, or it's given to other company that had to treat it in such a way to increase the agronomic value to become more effective. Sometimes in New York, they use for Central Park, for other park for free, because there's no sellable. What we know that by being able to send about $200, let's say make $200 to make it even a ton. Now imagine that San Francisco pays $80 per ton to collect the organic waste and to transform in compost. New York is now pay $600 a ton. It's incredible price. But with the mandatory organic waste collecting that is happening this year, they aim to drop the price to $135 a ton to collect and processing, right? Now, those money are, you New Yorker, no, you Philadelphia, whatever. I'm a New Yorker, whatever you are, we pay this money, this taxpayer. New York's aim to pay $120 million a year, which is a huge amount of money to that. Now, imagine this one. If you add about $25 per ton, that's how much, $30 per ton, that's how much is our product cost. So from 135, you add 30, it becomes 165. Now you can sell this for 200 minimum. This becomes a circular economy. Basically, we are telling the government, you're not going to use up any more taxpayer or our money. You can invest for now, but then take tax credit or reverse when you sell it. So this $120 million that New York is going to pay for it is not going to be waste. It's necessary because it's super toxic. We had to solve the situation. Finally, we awaken it because there was this idea that I want to be very simple, just to make it very simple for whoever it was. The idea that, sorry for the language, pee on the grass or on the field is healthy. It's complete. It's so acid. In the moment that we do it, that is killing everything. It takes time for human consumption, human excrement to residual to basically lose the acidity and become nutrition. Between this gap, there is what measure-wise is what's called chemical demand of oxygen. So our waste, food, and human waste are full of bacteria. Those bacteria sequester oxygen for the environment. That's the damage. By sequestering oxygen for the environment, they basically takes oxygen from the field, from the water, from the groundwater, from everything, from the environment. So our environment has no more oxygen to thrive. And that's why there is the generations of groundwater, of the coral reef in Mexico, of our coastline, and of the fish and the animal. That is the chemical reason, right? Of the damage that we're causing. By stabilizing what we do immediately, in a few hours, the chemical demand of oxygen immediately drop. Usually it's about 5,000, 6,000. We drop it. The average should be below 300. That's what's become not toxic anymore. What we discovering in lab and into testing lab and also in the field, then in a few hours from whatever amount of oxygen there is, the chemical demand of oxygen can be spiked to 8,000. In a few hours, it drops to below 300 right away. So basically,
Just thinking, what about the application for this in sewage treatment plants?
That's another things that we can do it. Absolutely.
I mean, that could make such a huge difference.
Yeah, there's something definitely. They're not this treatment plant. They're not structured. We don't go that route yet. Just timeline. It's very it's a lot of work to do that. But we're going. The idea is to go there as well. The things is that in order to be effective, our products is not about just washing, putting, and that's it. It has to be there for a few hours. So the treatment, for example, when we build new building center, we work with developers, for example, right? Which are basically asking them to create this an on-site composting underground center where all the waste goes into this underground facility, and then in a few hours become a composting that can be either sold or used into the garden or the condominium green area for generate vegetables, whatever they want to do it. And obviously, there's a lot of interest. First of all, because it's a very innovative idea, so the value of the developer grow. There is a money they can tackle from the grant from the US, from the global grant for USA or from Europe, or for developing new technology that are composite. But the most fascinating part is that basically they have capacity to create inside a composite. However, these require a specific construction, architecture construction. Has to be one tank that is basically a storage tank that basically where our product is injected, and they stay for a few hours in order to create our benefit. And then this has to be released to another tank, which basically it's the finished products that can be then stored for a few hours again, like continue the transformations, and then can become a compost. So it's not just injecting our products. That would be really magic portion. It takes a few hours for us to create this benefit of a bacteriostatic rather than bactericidal.
Let's go back to talking about your product itself. You said it's using electromagnetics, and it's not just citric acid. So can you, I realize that we're talking about your secret sauce and all of that, but I'm wondering what you can share with us about the actual product production and I think you had said that you use lemons and limes and where that's sourced and, with the eye towards circular economy. So maybe you can just sort of give us some more information about that.
So what we aim to do, what we do, we basically mimic nature. That is our main.
Well, electromagnetics isn't necessarily mimicking nature.
Yeah, no, but electromagnetism is not. You don't have to imagine this one as a huge machine that are taking a lot of energy. Things we are. Natures have electron as energy already, and this energy element, when you mix them, there is electromagnetism. Okay, so our technology is relatively small and green, takes very small amount of energy. We have certifications from the government of Brazil that we are green and eco-friendly, so it's a zero impact to the environment. What we know is we are made of energy. All of us are made of energy. This energy has a specific electromagnetism that once you understand the dynamic of how this interacts between different elements, this is our discovery and our secret sauce. So we basically, just to give you an idea, we don't work with solubility solution, but we work with the colloidal system. So what does it mean that? Let me give you an example to simplify. If you put sugar into the water, the sugar just get basically diluted, right? And what happened, the water changes color. You don't see anymore the sugar, but the water changes color, right? If you put milk into the water, the milk, specific milk, condenses and create this kind of sort of balls, like fat balls, right? So that's the colloidal system. This is how we work with our protocol. So electromagnetism, understanding energy that between the second law of dynamic, how products interact with each other. So in the moment you mix two products, there is heat waves, a cold wave. If you put ice on water, the ice melted because the water is warm. This is an idea how it works, right? So anything reacts a certain way we combine it. And that's what we studied for so many years. This electromagnetism, we extract through this our technology, these powerful enzymes from citric, from lemon, you mentioned orange, from fruit, generally speaking, most likely. That's what contains citric acid. And this is, you ask a question, where is collected? Most of our products are productions made in Brazil, 95%. So Brazil is one of the biggest countries in terms of agriculture. So we take those products from natural resources from Brazil, and we transform them to become effective for nature as well in agriculture and animal husbandry. And so by understanding the second theory of the transformations of element and this colloidal system, we understand that basically our products rather than get soluble, so become when a product like sugar in the water, it's very hard to be effective because it gets lost into the environment, right? That's how usually the products available on the market are. You spray, you had products in the agriculture, only a small amount the plants get absorbed as a nutrition. The rest get wasted. We understand that basically by the colloidal system, our products stick on the plants, stick in animals. It doesn't get diluted right away. So it has a very slow effect, and therefore it stays in our body, in animal body. It stays on the plants rather than get diluted. And that's how basically we're capable to generate this incredible effect. Obviously, one of the major products that we do have, which is already used in agriculture, and it's an adhesive. We call it an adhesive. That's how it's called in terminology.
Oh, adhesive.
Adhesive, yeah. So basically what does, we spray before the application of our products, and that allows our product to stick even more on the plants. And we notice that from usually an absorption of 15-20% of all nutrition, generally speaking, with our system, jump to 96, 95, 96%. So whatever we give to the plants now, they absorb most of it. And that's why we have a test that basically is called Energy Life. you measure the energy life of the plants or the animal, it spike in a few hours, it spikes immediately up to 100% almost. Basically, it's how the plants or the animals are basically immediately, most of the plants, we do this for most of the plants, no animal, but how the life of the plants is immediately spiked, regenerated by using our products. And that's what's amazing effect into lab, and that's what we do on the field. We ask our partner, clients, to do a test, keep it the same protocol they use, and next to it, a field that we do half and half to see just the concept, and then next to it, complete our protocol. And it's when they do that in a few weeks, it depends, for a month, they call us and say, "This is incredible. How is it possible?" I know, we know how it works. So let's see. And then we start to do testing. We test about the soil, we test about the plants, the energy life. So we give more scientific data, not only visible, because the first thing you notice is the visible. So the plants are greener, healthier, taller immediately compared to run. The soil is more like less dry, it's more humid. That's the value we generate. So it's immediately easy to see a naked eyes. But we also do a test, this specific test, and see a nutrition, how much nutrition is, energy life. Those can be expensive tests. If someone wants to certify those tests, you can do it and basically have much more proof for himself, because imagine marketing wise for those company, what's the benefit to tell our energy life increase, our soil is much more humid, our plants are 3 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 10 centimeters taller. One thing that we know is extremely effective is for corn. Our corn are taller. When corns are taller, it means there's more hair. And just that, in nature, what is the most effective in things about benefit in terms of variety of plants and benefit of plants is wind. It's the most important thing. And I give you an example. Italy, compared to Brazil, is extremely, it's one region, one state of Brazil, not even less, but has 10,000 times more variety of products.
In Brazil.
So, than Brazil.
Yeah.
Roughly, numbers, I've not given numbers, but just to give you, in terms of animal species, the same thing. Why? Because Italy, for this specific regional position, is basically because it's a peninsula and because there is the mountains, and then the mountains, the Alps or the Bavarian top, and the mountains into the Apennine, the mountains that are basically dividing Italy between left and right, and it's called this causes a different wave of winds that are basically in a different region. Here to Philadelphia can be completely different environments. And that's why we are such a variegated, thousands and thousands and thousands of species of grapes, of olives, grape. I think Spain has 7 different olives species. We have like 150.
Wow.
Grapes, I don't know how many grapes. French has like 10 or 20 or 40, I forgot the numbers, species. We are 4,000.
Wow.
Because
that boggles the mind.
Yeah, it's incredible. This is because the wind. So generally speaking, the wind is what really makes everything way. And once you have a higher, because you grow faster and healthier and taller plants, the wind does its own job. So we mimic nature. That's the point. We try to understand the dynamic of nature using natural products, mimic how the nature believes and affect, and then use nature for the benefit. Wind, the rain, and nutrition that come from sun. Even the sun, if plants are taller and higher, more spreader, the sun has much more impact.
So now I know that citric acid is a big part of your product, but there's more. So, and it sounds like you have these multiple products. You have sanitizer, you have soil amendments. It sounds, I don't know if that's the proper term, if you're calling it soil amendments or feed amendments, and whatever is being used in compost. Are they distinctive products, or are we? Okay, so can you speak a little bit more to that, and and other elements that are part of this magic?
Okay, so for animal, we have about 4 products. The for agriculture is about 8 or 9, and compost are 2. The agricultures and animal husbandry are based on potassium. One of the main elements is potassium. In agriculture, it's potassium, nitrogens, and phosphate. Sorry, I'm confused. Animals and agriculture's main element is phosphate, not potassium. Then in agriculture is potassium and nitrogen as well. So what we are capable to do, and this is incredible main result, we are capable to activate the phosphate naturally. So phosphate into the mine, first of all, is a non-renewable resource. So there is an estimate that we probably have 50, maybe 100 years left of using potassium phosphate. That means it's going to be end. So we have to find different solutions soon. And with the way this is activated, the way this become the stone, the rock become dilutable in order to use into animal food and into agriculture, is by using chemicals. Precisely called phosphoric acid. So it's an acid that is used into mixing the rock. They become more liquid, more powdery, more like, break apart, and that become usable for animal husbandry as well as agriculture. The issue is that this acid is extremely contaminated for the environment, not only for the humans that work into the mine, but also the groundwater, because that goes in the groundwater stuff. That's the first issue. Second issue is that when you use this phosphate into agriculture and animal food, no matter how much you can say there's no chemicals, there is no vitamins, there is no antibiotic, no for animals, or no chemicals for fertilizer, the base is a chemical phosphate. So what happened, in a very simple, I'll make it very simple because that's the best way to describe it. In a moment that you inject an acid in your body is not happy. Obviously, it starts to have a chemical reaction fighting the injections of chemicals that is not common to nature, to your consumption. Same thing applies for plants and animals. They start to fight it. And the industry doesn't understand that, or at least, let's say, it doesn't connect to that. No, it understand. It doesn't think about that. But in the moment that you have a phosphate, which is the base of agriculture and animal husbandry, there is a natural. The first immediate reaction is that the plants, it doesn't react to defend himself, but it boosts himself immediately, like natural growing into the environment, right? The industry now become a natural way of growing animals and agriculture. So the first immediate reaction we benefit is the phosphate. So this is becoming our main product. Before used to be the last one, because it's very hard to explain this massive industry of phosphate, which is multi-billion dollars and huge mine all over the world. They basically change the way they do it.
So
And
what's different about your process?
No, we use basically, it's an activator that has our specific protocol, proprietary formula that's activate. It's not using phosphoric acid, but it's basically added to the rock, and the rock become available for agriculture, for animal husbandry, but it's no chemicals.
So it's non-polluting?
Non-polluting at all. Not only that, but also what we noticed that the amount of availability of phosphate increase. So now, with the same amount of phosphate, it's usually chemicals, the same amount of phosphate that we use made available for our products, it's much more effective, and also it's much more soluble. So the plants and the animals are capable with specific words, is to absorb more. So that means you need less amount of phosphate to be used to have the same effect. And that's,
I mean, it's a lot more efficient.
yeah, that's the issue. That's the main problem that we have with mine. They want
And
to
it's toxic, so you don't have the acid runoff.
and also you need less amount of phosphate. So the phosphate is much more available. So the issue is that you want to sell now or you want to sell for more years because your phosphate is more available and they're better quality. That's why these incredible products it's hard to get in the market, because the phosphate mine are thinking about today and I'm talking about tomorrow. As every business industry, I don't care. I need my money now. I don't care about tomorrow. We are in the verge of thinking, we think about tomorrow. It doesn't mean to me 50 years from now. It means next year, because in the moment that we are going to buy our phosphate for the mine, we transform our own self and our products become much more effective, much more benefit, and much more economy. You lose money because they start to come to us. So we tell them, would you like to partner? We give our products, you do it. We don't want to be involved into the mixed transformation. That's not our job. But we tell them, we want to partner with you. There is 5 mines in South America that are big: Peru, Colombia, Brazil. And so we are now partnering with them. And we basically have meetings and meetings and meetings to tell them, if you want to think about today, that's not what it works. If you don't think about the next few months, you become a leader. Everybody wants to come with products because you have incredible products. And agriculture doesn't need to know if it's the industry. They don't want to know how it's made. They want to know it's effective and it's strong and natural and less costly. They're going to become a leader of the market. So this conversation that we have in this magic portion, consequence of believing into how does it work? Why should I do it? It's not, I'm gonna sell less phosphate. Yes, now. But in a few years, you have a much more, your mine will be last longer because now phosphate available. If your mine is aimed to be last for 30 years, it's gonna last way more. So it's way much more valuable on the market. And second of all, you give a product much more effective and less costly. So I know it's not less. The money for you, it will not, because the amount of the cost of phosphoric acid is way higher than our products. So the economy for the mine doesn't change because they spend less money to produce phosphate. So it's all about those numbers. Work with this number, explain how to work, the formula, how much it costs. When they start to see the results, the test, and the economy of value, it just change their perspective things. They say, okay, I understand what you mean. Finally, it takes time because it takes days and days and days for them to test. We need to send a test to them, and they need to test it, they need to mix it, and then they see the results, and the results say, oh, but nothing changed. Yes, change. Look at the percentage of phosphate availability, how much it is. It's very similar. Okay, now when you apply into the system, our phosphate is much more absorbable. So they increase the quality and the quantity about 40, 30%. I said, that makes sense. So we're dealing now with the few mine, and we know it's always in protocol.
And it's less toxic to the environment.
It's not toxic because we use basically we use argile again. We use all natural elements. So it's basically.
You say algae?
Argile.
What is that, argile?
Argile is argile. I say it's called argile in English. Forgive me my English sometimes.
Your English is great.
Clay, sorry. Clay.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. A clay has a lot of nutrition.
So I want to understand, first off, how about if you give us your website?
Yes, phenombiotech.com.
So spell it.
P as in Peter, HENOM biotech, biotech.com.
Okay, great. And are these products available for the retail market, or are they only available in volume?
We don't tackle the retail market yet, but it's absolutely a goal for us in the next few years, an opportunity.
And what if people are just super excited about your tech and want to get involved, is there room for people to get involved with the company through investment or in other ways?
Yes, we are talking to a few investors, and there is definitely an opportunity to scale. The market is so big and the opportunity is so big that we want to definitely try to be able to be very impactful. And we know that only with the large investment can be done. We are self-funded company for now. We invest whatever we generate. We've invested for the last 30 years. When I came in, we continue to invest in our products, testing our own money, our own from revenue or from personal investment. And also we invest in scientific paper. That means an external university or research or scientist look at our products and test our products on the field into lab to verify the efficacy.
That's great.
And we had a scientific paper on our EP5, which is our substitute for fungicide, which has become very effective based on citric acid, and is available online. The same, this is very interesting, the same university, which is a external university that takes the test, contacted us 2 weeks ago officially. They sent an official letter. I can send it to you if you want to show if I'm allowed. I don't know if I'm allowed, but I think I will. They basically ask, we have experienced a huge global problem for spinach. They've been attacked for fungi, and we try to figure out a solution. We believe your product can be an amazing opportunity. And they ask, we want to invest our own money to test.
Wow, that's exciting.
Yeah, so we are not going to invest any money, basically, sort of, we need to, of course, in terms of those tests are very expensive. We need to collaborate in terms of
what's occurring to me is I know that there have been vast recalls of spinach and salad and other kinds of agricultural products, not even to mention meat, chicken, whatever, due to salmonella. And it sounds like your treatment or your magic potion here would have a huge impact in that arena, even just to use it for washing greens. Is that
very, very true? I think I mentioned to you in person, not here in this podcast, but yes, by one of the major tests that we asked those lab, it was basically the capacity of the bay or reduce salmonella bacteria and E. coli as well. And they basically say not even chlorine is also available to do that. Chlorine is more, it's not, even if you put spray chlorine in a fruit and vegetable, that in chickens, is no longer effective. And one of the major things that we know we capable is that we bring the salmonella infections or contaminations below 1%.
wow?
Now, I invite you to, and whoever's gonna follow us, to check this documentary, very interesting, called "The Food Poison: The Food We Inject." Have you seen it?
What is it called?
Poison: The Food That We Inject, something like that. It's on the Netflix, and is a test done with Purdue Chicken Farm. And they were say that the product's it's not contaminated with salmonella. And so they did the first test, and they test 5 chicken. All 5 chicken has salmonella. So when they're back to Purdue CEO or scientific team, it's a documentary, and they say, how's it possible you say that there's no salmonella when 5 chicken we test, all 5 they are contaminated? And they goes, no, but you need to test a larger number. It could happen. So how many larger number? And minimum 150. And so what should be the percentage? About 4 or 5%. The test 150, there was 25% of them that have salmonella. So that means 25%. It means that over 150 chicken, about 30 are contaminated by salmonella.
Wow.
So we are we suggest to do this one during the growing of the chicken, for example, and not at the end by what we're using our products, because that we already know we can eliminate salmonella. If you do both cycle, it's even better. We have 100% more efficacy because we can eliminate salmonella into the chicken farms.
You know, there's been so much of a plague, really, of bird flu, where they've had to kill millions of birds. And I'm wondering what I don't know anything really about the medical end of it, but I'm wondering how a product like this might impact things like bird flu and swine flu and these epidemics.
So we never had any specific ground testing that we can display any benefit. However, in theory, the bird flu is basically an immune system disease.
Right. Well, these animals are put in very unsanitary conditions.
Exactly. So our sanitizer, let's go back to the sanitizer that I mentioned to you that is out. We don't take the sanitizer out from this equation because into animal husbandry, especially the chicken hangars, we ask the chicken farm to spray the sanitizer into the hangars through a very simple system, nothing complicated. Because that sanitizer, what it does, first of all,
And this is the citric acid sanitizer.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. So first of all, it does immediately. If you go to a chicken farm, smell is horrible. And that's because the poo of the animals create ammoniac. This ammoniac is a gas emission that is very contaminated for the environment, extremely contaminated environment, extremely smelly. But also the chickens are not happy.
Right.
They breed the things.
Right.
And that's why they don't grow healthy. They're not a healthy system. They live in the poo, for a month. That's how the system industry is made. So, and actually, because of this one, there is a bacteria, not bacteria, there is a, how do you call it? Sorry, I forgot the terminology. A bug. Forgot the name. It's a very complicated name, but it's a very famous bug that grows into the chicken beds because of the poo and all the chicken farm are struggling with it because that bug bother the chicken. They bite things. So there's stress for the animals. It's stress. Imagine you to grow in 1 month overstressed. The meat is a stressed meat. You don't need healthy meat. This sounds like wherever, but at the end, it's an extremely huge impact in our health as well. So through our citric acid environment sanitizer, we immediately remove the ammoniac smell, which is basically the more gas emissions, environmentally cleaner. There's an environmental impact. Humans, they work into the entire neighborhood, the entire area becomes smell free. Humans, they work into the farm, which is the human technicians and people that they're not affected, they're not contaminated, they don't need to wear masks, guys. But the chickens are benefit the most because there's this bug, for some reason, we don't know why it lives. We have videos of spray our citric, our products into chicken bed, like test. And if in a few minutes, these bugs, you see that they leave, they disappear, they go away. They don't come back anymore.
Wow.
Now, because it's not ammoniac smell and poo smell, there's no more flies. So the entire environment become more healthier for the chickens. That's why we tell the chicken farms, you need to be careful. You need to change your mind in terms of how you see the chicken grow. Make your chicken less stress. And I can tell you that just by doing this one, without changing any feed, use whatever system you want. Just this one, in about 30 days, your chicken meat will be much more soft, much more tender, much more valuable. Because the
quality of life of the birds while they're alive is
the environment change, the chicken become more healthy. And then you use our products and become basically immune system booster. So we believe this type of bird flu, it could be also eliminated or at least defeated, but we never had the issues of controlling that. I mean, in terms of acting during the time, we know we can control it. We know that our farm, they don't get bird flu. And so we believe that's the reason why, because we create an environment and a feed system that basically has natural and is much more potent than chemicals, antibiotics, and growing on hormones and stuff.
Nedo, are these studies on your website, on the Phenom
Uh,
Biotech website?
Most of them are there, yes. Some of them are only accessible through private communication.
Okay.
But most
So
of them are, yes.
what should I have asked you that I didn't ask you?
That's a good question. Well, I think probably what is missing in this equation, and we talked this in person, is about having in mind the industry, the investors, our employees, and me as CEO, the partner of the company, that this is not this is not a runner. This is not a 100 meters run. This is a marathon. And a marathon that requires a lot of stamina, a lot of training, but most important is understand the final goal is not immediately now, but it's in long terms. And when I talk about long terms, I'm talking about also legacy. I'm talking about also an amazing opportunity for us as a company, employees, workers, partners, clients, investors, to create a system, food industry that is much more healthier. Yet we discussed about this in person. The industrial productions of food is not definitely a healthy system to go, but also because it is managed in a very, very impactful way to the environment. So our idea is that how about we continue to do this system, because we had to feed humanity, and somehow we don't know when, there's still, there is a research said that meat is very healthy, and some research said meat is not healthy. It's such an incredible, difficult way to manage it, how we want to eat. But if we keep the system today, it's not sustainable.
Right.
We know that we can create a system that is way much more sustainable. And not only that, but the end result, our meat is it's every farmer that we work with, they receive always the price for the best meat in the market, which means that meat now it's much more requested. They have basically our clients, their meat sold out before it's on even the market. Because the company, supermarket, or whatever industry, they want to guarantee the meat before they're on the market. So it's a pre-bought meat in advance, because the quality of the meat that we can provide in terms of nutrition value, in terms of healthiness, in terms of fat distribution, all these benefits that are visible into the market. So we for us, the company culture is very important. It took about 30 years of extremely effort, devotion from our science, Bellucci, who basically devote his life to it. And we want to continue this legacy of understanding, like telling the market that chemicals are destroying our planet. And we have not much time to do it, to remove it. And hopefully our solutions become an opportunity for the chemical industry not to compete with us, which probably would take years for them to develop our technology, but to partner with us in a way where we are not capable to tackle 100% of the market. It's impossible. Not even 100 years we're capable to do it. So we know that in the moment that our company arrive in a growth level of understanding and acceptance, we are going the direction. We want to partner with this huge producer and tell them, this is our formula. Take it. Because we are not here to become billionaires. We will eventually anyway, but the problem is not about making money. The problem is that what is our legacy? Are we thinking about today, or are we thinking about what's going to be future for our kids, for our planet? Because that's the most important for the problem that we need to face today, compared to 50 years ago. There was not this issue. There was an understanding, the projection. Now it's become a reality. The industrial revolution is changing completely the way that we believe and we think. The AI is completely making a completely different world that 50 years ago we have no idea about it, not even 20. And now we face a drastic situation where AI could be definitely useful for many reasons. If hopefully we take this in a positive route, not into negative. That's big debate, right? Well, that's not the topic of this conversation. But definitely we know AI will help us tremendously also to increase our products, to make our products better. And so, I have good feelings that despite it's very hard because the system is like blocking us, this mentality, an old mentality, growing animals and agriculture. We believe that this right culture, the right philosophy, it will be, people will get close to us and will partner with us in a much more impactful way. Think about the legacy we leave to the plants and not about, we hear temporary, who cares? That's the mentality that doesn't belong to me. And this is what I've been planting to the company cultures. They embrace it. And that's how we think it. That's how we believe it. That's how we work. That's how we collaborate. That's how we do our business. We are a public benefit corporation.
Oh, that's good. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, thank you. I'm wondering, are you looking for distributors?
We always look for distributors, yes. One of the major.
That's a way that people could get involved if they were
Yes. Yes. We do work with, unfortunately, the company start to work with small clients. That's how we test the ground. But unfortunately, these slow our growth and our investment opportunity and also our investment how to say it's investment radar, right? Because obviously it's more with the small client, the times of the conversion rate between the testing and the time compared to the amount of money we generate is very small. So investors look at those things. We even if you want to scale, there is also this complication of the market. Is very hard to get in because these chemical companies don't let you in. So it's not that easy route. Once I came in, we only target big clients. That takes same amount of time of converting them, but once they convert, they actually more benefit for us in terms of revenue, but also they're much more impactful to the environment because that's one that causes huge impact to the environment. So that's our main goal. And then so we work directly with bigger clients, and through distributor, we work with smaller clients. So they serve small farms, which for us would be too complicated, even for delivery, shipping, and cost and management. And then larger clients we do directly.
Awesome. Awesome. So thank you so much. Nedo, how can people reach you?
By email at Nedo Bellucci at Phenom Biotech. I can spell if you want to. Okay, Nedo, Nedo, Bellucci, as in boy, Ellucci. Same last name of Monica Bellucci. I don't know if you know the actress. Exactly the same name. At Phenom Biotech. That's the best way to reach me. I want to thank you so much for this opportunity. I think what you're doing is incredible, and to give a space to company like mine, as well as other company, and delivering the message. It's incredible. I think I'm very grateful for that. And anything I can continue support or anything that we can do in the future, I would be very happy to be part of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Nedo. And thank you to all of you who are listening and helping to spread the word and supporting us through Patreon. And thank you also to my partner in crime here at Sustainability Now, Scott Billy, who is also our producer. And I think that's it for today. So live your best life, love the world around you, and together we can save the world.
We can, definitely.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Sustainability Now. Visit sustainabilitynow.global to find resources related to today's program. While you're there, pledge your support by making a contribution to help us shape a world that works. And remember to subscribe, share, and follow us on social media.